So my cousin was chopping it up with my cousin last week on the FaceTime. And he asked me, I mean, we really like brothers. So we kind of call each other brothers. But he was like, bro, so you got 10 albums you can listen to for the rest of your life. Only 10 albums you can listen to for the rest of your life. What would they be? I was like, wow. And I was like, bro, that's a podcast episode right there. So here we are. I actually made a list, right? I got 25 actually, but I'm just gonna give y'all 10. I won't stress y'all out because then y'all gonna be like, wait, damn, 25, that's crazy. So you got 10 albums you can listen to for the rest of your life only. What would those 10 albums be? So, but this is no order. I'm not ranking them number one album ever. I'm gonna give you 10 albums and and that's gonna be that. So y'all hit the comments. You got 10 albums you can listen to for the rest of your life. What would those 10 albums be? Here we go. Tupac, All Eyes on Me. I mean, it's his best album. Even though I feel Me Against the World might be my favorite Tupac album, but I feel All Eyes on Me is that's just a whole nother bag. Like fresh out of jail, we sold 6 million copies. Like, come on. First, they said it's the first hip hop double disc album, and it was multi-platinum. Tupac's my favorite rapper of all time too, so and that's my goal. So I need some Pac. So Tupac, All Eyes on Me. First time I heard this album, incredible work. Incredible work. I don't even know which one I like more, the disc one or disc two, but it's like it's heat on both discs. So Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Next, Curtis Mayfield, the Superfly soundtrack. I'm talking about the original Superfly from the 70s, starring Ron O'Neal, right? Curtis Mayfield, every song on the soundtrack is him. Classic. Little Child Running Wild was one of my favorite songs of all time. And if I was doing like a soundtrack to my life and going songs, Curtis Mayfield, Little Child Running Wild would be on there. Yeah, I need my oldie. So yeah, that Curtis Mayfield, that's a classic soundtrack to a movie. For a classic movie. Next up, A Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory. This was my introduction to hip hop. First hip hop I ever listened to was A Tribe Called Quest, the Low End Theory album, beginning to end. I was in the car with my pops one day. He put this album on, and blown away by the first track. And that was like what, 1996? Album came out in 91, but this was 1996. I'm listening to it in the car. First hip hop I ever listened to. Blown away from track one. So this is hip hop, jazzy vibes, creative, songs for the ladies. It's a posse cut at the end. All the tribe members with Busta Rhymes and leaders of the new school, like classic. Next, we're gonna switch it up. Sade, Promise. I can't remember the first time I heard this album, but I think my introduction to Sade was the No Ordinary Love song. But then I went back and listened to her whole catalog, and this album, Promise in particular, was just, man, I can't even describe this album. What this album did to me, like, I'm talking about a vibe. Sade's a vibe. If you don't like vibes, a smooth, laid back vibe, storytelling, expressive, Sade, Promise. Michael Jackson, Thriller. Again, I'm not ranking them as like, oh, this my top 10 albums all time. These are 10 albums I could listen to for the rest of my life. Michael Jackson Thriller. Listen, man. First time I heard this album, this is actually how I became a Michael Jackson fan listening to this album. Like, my granddad had the cassette tape, and my grandfather had the tape of this album. And I just remember him playing this in his Dodge truck over and over and over again. It was just like I've been a Michael Jackson fan ever since I heard this album. Dope. Michael Jackson's best album. I mean, a lot of people will agree. I mean, some might debate, but I mean, you go through his whole catalog, his classics, none but classics. So, next, Lil Wayne, The Carter 2. This is my Is this my favorite Wayne album? Yeah, this is actually my favorite Wayne album. My favorite Wayne album, and I feel out of his Carter series, it's the best beginning to end. Now with this album, um, my cousin had he had the basketball rim in his backyard in his crib, right? So we was when this album first came out and he got it, he literally played this album on the radio. We just beginning to end. We hooping the entire time. Like we playing 1-on-1, we just shooting around, dunking, whatever. And we used to go at it on the court. And we had this album playing. This is just one of many. Carter 2 was one album. What else? What else was out around the time? Dipset. What was that? More Than Music Volume 1. T.I. King album. It was a bunch of them. But Carter 2. If Wayne didn't never make nothing else, I'm glad after Carter 2, I'm glad we got the Carter 2. My favorite Wayne album, and I feel that's his best album out of the Carter series. Next, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. Now this one was tough because I actually got introduced to Jay-Z. First time I listened to Jay-Z was the Volume 2 album. And Pops played that beginning to end. I've been a huge Jay-Z fan ever since. I was stressing when I made this list because I was like, dang, which Jay album am I gonna do? Which Jay album? Which Jay album can I put on this list? Because I need a Jay-Z album for sure. I was like, Blueprint, American Gangster, Volume 1, Volume 2. Then I was like, I gotta go with Reasonable Doubt. So I chose Reasonable Doubt. It was tough, but Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt is on there. The Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get to really see Biggie's music career evolve because his untimely demise. But Life After Death, I think this goes without debating. Between this and Ready to Die, Life After Death is the best body of work Biggie created. Now they made a few projects afterwards, after he died and everything like that. There was remixes, whatever. We don't really count those. But Life After Death, definitely Biggie's best work. Definitely one of the greatest hip hop albums I ever heard in my life, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. So yeah, Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death. Cameron Purple Haze. Listen, I'm a huge Dipset fan. Cam is actually, I think, I got Cam in my top 10 favorite rappers. Yeah, Cam is my top 10 rappers for sure. This album right here is just, listen, man, from the beats to the skits to the concepts of the songs to everything. Cam had everything on this album. You're talking about a complete body of work. Cameron Purple Haze. Now, this is not to take nothing away from Come Home With Me, because I know Some people might say Come Home With Me is Cam's best album, but to me, nothing beats Purple Haze. As far as Cameron's solo catalog, Purple Haze is his best work, by far. Last but not least, DMX is Dark and Hell is Hot. Now, originally, when I was making my list, I was like, should I put, I was either going to put that album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, or And Then There Was X, because I love that album too. I said, you know what? I gotta. It's Dark as Hell is Hot. It's different from the beginning to end. Skits, prayers, everything. Long live X Men. Yeah, we could say that's his best album. Definitely his best album. Or his first album. He like who like whose first album sounds like that? Like it's not even. It's only a few rappers in history that out the gate hit you with a classic. DMX is Dark as Hell is Hot. But those are my 10 albums that if I can listen to for the rest of my life, I'm choosing those. Y'all hit the comments. Let me know. You got 10 albums you could listen to for the rest of your life. What would they be? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Big Beno TV. Follow me on TikTok, Big Beno TV. Stay tuned for more content. Stop me when I lie. Peace.